Imagine finding an ordinary-looking 25-cent coin dated 1972 from the Netherlands, only to discover that its story could be far more interesting than its small face value. This coin belongs to an era when Dutch coins carried a fascinating combination of national history, traditional designs, and everyday commerce. The 1972 Dutch 25-cent coin, commonly known as a kwartje, was part of the Netherlands' long-running coinage tradition. These small coins were produced for practical daily transactions and could easily pass through thousands of hands before disappearing into collections, drawers, or old family boxes. What makes a coin from this period interesting to collectors is not simply its age. Collectors carefully examine the date, design, lettering, metal, condition, mint characteristics, and especially any unusual production error that might make one example different from millions of others. The Netherlands has a remarkable history of coin production, with royal imagery and carefully engraved designs appearing on its circulating currency for generations. A 1972 coin therefore represents more than just 25 cents, it is a small surviving piece of Dutch monetary history. On the obverse, collectors can study the portrait and inscriptions associated with the Dutch monarchy of that period. Tiny details around the lettering and portrait can become extremely important when comparing an ordinary example with a suspected variety or mint error. The reverse side is equally important. The denomination and surrounding design elements should be examined closely for unusual spacing, double details, missing elements, abnormal lettering, or other characteristics that might indicate an interesting production mistake. Condition is another major factor. A heavily circulated 1972 25-cent coin may have scratches, worn surfaces, discoloration, and softened details. A sharply preserved specimen with strong original surfaces can attract much greater attention from serious collectors. Collectors also look for unusual minting errors. A coin struck off-center, with a dramatic die problem, doubling, a wrong planchet, or another confirmed minting abnormality can become much more interesting than a normal example from the same year. However, not every strange-looking mark is an error. Damage caused after a coin leaves the mint can sometimes resemble a genuine minting mistake. That is why experienced collectors compare examples, study official references, and seek professional authentication before assigning an extraordinary value. The 1972 date itself does not automatically make every Dutch 25-cent coin extremely valuable. Rarity must be established through evidence, and the exact variety, condition, authenticity, and documented auction history can make a huge difference. This is where the real mystery begins. Imagine discovering a 1972 specimen with an unusual characteristic that is extremely rare among surviving examples. Such a coin could attract attention from collectors who specialize in Dutch currency and historical mint errors. A coin's value can also change dramatically depending on its provenance. If an unusual specimen has a documented history, previous auction appearances, professional grading, and strong collector demand, buyers may be willing to compete aggressively for it. Another important factor is preservation. Coins that retain sharp lettering, clear design details, attractive surfaces, and minimal wear can stand apart from ordinary circulated pieces. Collectors often examine the coin under magnification before making any serious valuation. If you happen to own a 1972 Netherlands 25-cent coin, start by protecting it rather than cleaning it. Cleaning can permanently damage the original surface and may reduce collector interest. Place it somewhere safe and handle it carefully by the edges. The most exciting possibility is finding an authentic and highly unusual mint error. A spectacular error can transform an otherwise common denomination into a fascinating collector piece, but the error must be genuine and significant to justify an exceptional valuation. Now comes the number that has created enormous excitement in hypothetical rare coin discussions. An extraordinary 1972 Netherlands 25-cent specimen has sometimes been described with a potential value of $1.22 million. That figure should not be treated as the established value of a normal 1972 coin. Such a price would require extraordinary rarity, authentication, provenance, and exceptional buyer demand. If a coin were ever genuinely offered near that level, experts would want to know exactly what makes it unique. They would examine its mint error, metal composition, condition, rarity, ownership history, and comparable documented sales before accepting such a valuation. For ordinary collectors, the real lesson is not to assume every 1972 Dutch 25-cent coin is worth millions. Instead, learn how to recognize genuine varieties and errors. A careful examination can reveal details that are invisible to the naked eye and can turn a simple old coin into a fascinating discovery. So before you throw an old Netherlands coin into a box of loose change, take a second look at the date and details. Check the lettering, portrait, reverse design, edge, surfaces, and any unusual characteristics. If something looks genuinely different, have it examined by a reputable numismatic expert. The 1972 Netherlands 25-cent coin may be small, but its history shows why coin collecting remains so exciting. Behind an ordinary denomination can be a story involving monarchy, minting technology, circulation, rarity, and sometimes an extraordinary error. The real treasure is finding the evidence that proves exactly what your coin is worth.